Hello, class 9th. So, today we are going to complete this chapter. Yes, today we are going to finish it. Yes, we will finish today the chapter which is related to cell. Okay, so class 9th, the last time we studied about plasma membrane. Yes, do you remember about plasma membrane? Yes, and we also talked about diffusion. Yes, am I right? Talked about diffusion, and osmosis. Yes, and but we have not completed the complete topic osmosis. Okay, I will explain something more about osmosis today. Okay, then I will show you the real picture of plant cell and animal cell. Okay, which is given in your book. Okay, so I will show you the picture of plant cell and animal cell. Then we will talk about the difference. Okay, around 8 9 10 difference I will. Okay, I think 8 9 10 it's enough for you. Okay, so we will go through them, and then at last we will go through the question answer. Okay, so as you can see, the first topic is plasma membrane. Am I right? Plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is the outermost covering of the cell. Yes, plasma membrane is the outermost covering of the cell that separate the cell from external environment. Yes, so plasma membrane is the outermost covering. Yes, outer part, just like what is the outer part of my body? Skin is the outer part of my body. In the same way, the outer part of the cell is plasma membrane. Okay, plasma membrane is the outermost covering of the cell that separate the cell from external environment. Yes, it separate the cell from external environment. It is semi-permeable membrane. Yes, remember kids, it is semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable means you can say semi-permeable, such kind of membrane through which material can pass. Such kind of material through which material can pass. Okay, such kind of is known as semi-permeable membrane. It is flexible. Remember this point. It is flexible. Okay, and it is made up of liquids and protein microscope. Yes, it is made up of liquid and protein microscope. It flexibility helps the cell to engulf food. Yes, because of its flexibility, uh, because of flexibility of plasma membrane. Yes, because plasma membrane is flexible. Plasma membrane is flexible, so it can engulf in food. So it helps the cell to engulf the food and other material from its external environment. This process is known as endocytosis. Okay, endocytosis. For example, amoeba. It happens also in amoeba. Okay, I hope that you understood. Now let me show you the picture of plasma membrane again. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, look this picture. This is a plasma membrane. This is the picture of plasma membrane. So as you can see in the picture, plasma membrane picture, the upper side is yellow ball. Yes, upper side is yellow ball. Lower side also yellow ball. What are these? These are actually hydrophilic region. You can say hydrophilic region. And if you will see red part, this is actually transmembrane protein. And if you see the blue color part, glycoprotein, which is a protein. Okay, all these are protein, because as I already said that why it is flexible, because it is made up of liquid and protein. Yes, that's why it is flexible. Yes, why is it flexible? Because it is made up of protein and liquid. So what kind of protein? Glycoprotein, transmembrane protein. Okay, so there are many. And you can see the middle part, hydrophobic region. Middle part is known as hydrophobic region. Okay, I hope that you understood about plasma membrane, that plasma membrane is the outermost covering, yes, of the cell, that which separate the cell from external environment. Yes, it separate the outermost, separate the cell from external environment. It is semi-permeable membrane. It is semi-permeable membrane. It is flexible and made up of liquid and protein microscope. Its flexibility helps the cell to engulf in food, okay, and other material from its external environment. This process is called dendritosis. Okay, so if you wish, if you want to draw plasma membrane diagram, you can draw. If you don't want to draw, then don't draw. Okay, no issue. Let's move on to the next point. Next is diffusion. Now let's talk about diffusion. So what is the meaning of diffusion? Diffusion means the movement of substance. Yes, the movement of substance from a region of higher concentration region to lower concentration. Yes, the movement of substance from a region of higher concentration to region of lower concentration. Yes, on it's called diffusion. Okay, the movement of substance from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. I have written here by mistake 2 concentration. It is not TWO, it is actually low. Okay, but now I am going to change this word. Okay, so remember kids, if any material or you can say substance is moving from higher concentration region to lower concentration region, then this movement is known as diffusion. Okay, so kids, it's a very essential because it's play an important role. What kind of role? If we talk about the role, then we can say it plays as important role in gaseous exchange between cell as well as the cell and the external environment. Yes, what kind of role does it play? It helps in the exchange. It play as important role in gaseous exchange. Yes, gaseous exchange means exchanging of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay, we are particularly talking about oxygen and carbon dioxide. So between cell, yes, between cell and as well as the cell and its external environment. Okay, cell and its external environment. I hope that you are getting me. When the level of oxygen inside the cell decrease, when the level of oxygen, when the level of oxygen inside a cell decrease, when the level of oxygen inside a cell decrease, oxygen from the external environment of the cell enter by the process of diffusion. Okay, now let me show you the picture of diffusion. Okay, a rough diagram. Let's move on to the next point. This is the picture of diffusion. Okay, it's actually a rough picture. Okay, it's a rough diagram, it's not actual diagram. Okay, you can see the green balls. Can you see the green balls? You can imagine the solute as a solute. You can imagine these green balls are now present. Suppose that now they are in a high concentration region. Okay, these green balls are now in which region? High concentration region. They are moving towards which region? They are moving towards the lower concentration region. Okay, so we can say solute transport is formed from left to right, movement of solute due to the concentration. Yes, gradient. So you can see the green walls are actually solute, so which are moving from left to right, means they are moving from higher concentration to lower concentration because of concentration gradient. Okay, so this is diffusion. Sorry. Okay, it happens sometime because when we speak continue, then maybe cough. Yes, it's possible. Okay, so as I already explained about diffusion, I hope that you understood. Yes, movement from higher concentration to lower concentration. Yes, movement from higher concentration to lower concentration. I hope you understood. Okay, but what is the function? Why diffusion is important? Think and tell me why diffusion is important, because I have already explained in a previous class. Yes, I have already explained in previous class. Yes, exchange of gas between cell possible. This process is known as diffusion, as well as the exchange of gas between cell and its external environment. Okay, now we will study the next point, which is osmosis in detail. Let's move on the next point. Okay, osmosis. Osmosis is the passage of water from a region of high water concentration to the region of low water concentration through a semi-permeable. Yes. Again, high concentration to low concentration. Are you getting high concentration to low concentration? Because in diffusion we studied that the movement of substance from from a region of high concentration to the region of low concentration is known as diffusion. And osmosis is the passage of water. Osmosis is the passage of water from a region of high water concentration to region of low water concentration. Yes, means in diffusion generally gas pass, but in osmosis liquid. Which liquid? Means water. Water pass from which region? Higher concentration region to lower concentration. Yes. So osmosis is the passage of water. Here, osmosis is the passage of water from a region of high water concentration to region of low water concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. Yes. What kind of membrane? Semi-permeable membrane. Yes. What is semi-permeable membrane? Look the definition. I have written the definition. Yes, please read it. A membrane which permits the entry and exit of some material in the cell is called semi-permeable membrane. Yes, a membrane which allow the entry and exit of material. Yes, what kind of material? Like gases, water, allow. Yes, it allow only good material in and bad material out. Get out. Yes. So this membrane is known as semi-permeable membrane. It also prevent movement of some material. Yes, it also prevent the movement of some material. It does not allow any useless material inside. Yes, it cannot allow useless material in. I hope you understood. Now, let's move on the next point. Okay, let's continue the topic. Okay. Let's continue the topic, okay, because it's a very big topic. Yes, I'm not just kidding. Okay, so it is very big topic. So get you know now the meaning of osmosis. Yes, passing of water from which region? Higher concentration region to lower concentration. Okay, if a cell is placed in a medium which has higher water concentration and lower solute concentration, that is the outside solution is dilute, cell will again water by osmosis and swell up. Yes. When does a cell swell up? Yes, when does a cell swell up? If the cell is placed in a such medium. What kind of medium? In which has higher water concentration. Okay, if cell is placed in higher water concentration area and lower solute concentration also. Okay, solute concentration is lower. Okay, because water is solvent. Am I right? So then cell will again water, and yes, it will water. The water is here a verb. By osmosis and swell up. Yes, it will swell up. Such a solution is called hypotonic solution. Yes, such a solution is known as hypotonic solution. Okay, if a cell is placed in a medium which has lower water concentration, if a cell is placed in what kind of medium? Lower water concentration, then what will happen? Because we talked that if cell is placed in higher water concentration, then it will swell up. But if it is placed in a medium which has lower water concentration, then cell safe. Yes, cell safe. Cell will not swell up. Cell will not. This is known as hytonic. We call it also hytonic. Yes, cell will not swell up. It will swell up. Cell safe. Okay. Then cell safe means hytonic. then the cell will again water. Yes, cell will again. This is called osmosis. Okay. Now let's continue the topic. Let's study something more about osmosis. Let's move on the next part. Okay. So when cells are kept in a solution more concentrated than cell sap. Yes. When cells are kept in a solution more than concentrated than cell sap. Yes. They start shrinking. Yes, shrinking. They will not swell up. They will start shrinking. Yes. And kids, when a cell shrink, then what happens is the water come out. Yes, water will come out. Yes, this is known as exomosis. Yes, this is known as exomosis. Yes. So when cells are kept in a solution more than cells, then they start shrinking. Yes. When the cells are kept in a solution more than cells, then they start shrinking as water comes out. This is called exosmosis. The absorption of water from soil by plant root take place by osmosis. Yes. The absorption of water from soil by plant root take place by osmosis. If the water concentration outside the cell is similar to inside the cell, it is called isotonic solution. Yes, what is isotonic solution? If the water concentration outside the cell is similar to inside the cell, yes, water concentration should be same. Then we will call it isotonic solution. No net movement of water take place in such a, yes, no movement of water will happen. Okay, please write down. I am giving you 10 seconds. Okay, I hope that you understood that when cells are kept in a solution more than concentrated, then cell sap, they start shrinking as water come out. This is called exosmosis. The absorption of water from soil by plant root take place by osmosis. If the water concentration outside the cell is similar to inside the cell, it is called as isotonic solution. No net movement of water take place in such condition. Okay, I hope you understood. Now let me show you the diagram. Let's move on to the next point. Okay, so look the example. You can see the example picture of osmosis. Can you see the water molecule? Yes. Can you see the water molecule? Yes. Which is actually representing on the left side. Yes, look the left side. Okay, right now I'm talking, which is actually you can see the water molecule in violet color. Yes, violet color. Okay, and sugar molecule you can see in red color. Yes, it is and the dot line which is representing the permeable membrane, semi-permeable membrane. We can say partially permeable membrane. Okay, so what is happening? Water is passing from the region of high water concentration to the region of low water concentration. Yes, water is passing from, you can see, and then the water when the go it you can see the passing of water. Yes, which is actually allowed by membrane. Yes, and as you can see, if a cell is placed in a medium which has higher water concentration and lower solute concentration, yes, as you can see, the solute concentration is low. Yes, means red dot are very low, but water molecule dot are very too much. Okay, so we can say that cell is placed in a medium which has higher water concentration. Okay, uh, and lower solute concentration. Okay. Then what will happen? Cell will again water by osmosis and swell up. Yes, cell will again water by osmosis and swell up. Such a solution is called hypotonic solution. Yes, such a solution is known as hypotonic solution. If a cell is placed in a medium, suppose if it happens that imagine if a cell is placed in a medium which has lower concentration than cell shape, then the cell will again water. This is called osmosis. Okay. Now it's time to see the picture of plant cell and animal cell which is given in your book. Let's move on the next point. Okay, so as you can see the picture of plant cell, animal cell. Yes, plant cell is just like rectangular and animal cell is circular. Yes, you can see. So you can see the first of all let's talk about plant cell. So you can see the picture of plant cell, the outer green part. First of all, look outer green part. Outer green part is cell membrane, yes, which is written at the top, and just below it cell membrane is written. Yes, the outer green part is cell wall. Cell wall. Don't forget the green line which is outside, which is actually a cell wall, and the inner line just below the cell wall, which is actually very thin, maybe you can see or not, which is actually a cell membrane. And the next part in yellow color, can you see in yellow color, which is actually Golgi. Yes, next part which is in yellow color, it is actually Golgi. Yes, and next you can see a structure, chloroplast. Yes, can you see the structure like chloroplast? It is just looking like kidney bean. Yes. Then mitochondria is like a little bit pink orange color. Yes, can you see mitochondria? Yes. And the next is the green part, the inner green part, light green part. The inner light green part is actually cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is jelly-like substance in which all cell wall, cell membrane, Golgi, chloroplast, all the things are present. Then the center part, you can see a big round, like a big structure. Can you see the center structure, which is very big, which is actually a vacuole? Yes. Okay. Then ER. Can you see the ER? Yes. Can you see the nucleus? Yes. Which is in pink color. Can you see purple pink color? Can you see the purple pink color? Which is actually a nucleus, and it is not at the center. Yes, because at the central vacuole is found, and just below nucleus ER is present. ER means endoplasmic reticulum, and then you can see the ribosome just above the nucleus. Yes. Now look the picture of animal cell. You can see the center part is nucleus. Yes. Look the picture of animal cell. Center part is nucleus, which is actually in purple. What kind of color is it? Purple and little bit orange, something like this. Okay. And you can see the lysosome in yellow color. Yes. Can you see lysosome in yellow color? Golgi, can you see in yellow color? Yes. Nucleus I have already told, and cytoplasm. You can see the cytoplasm. Yes, which is in light yellow color. Ribosome, can you see the dot structure which are actually presenting ribosome, and ER, endoplasmic reticulum, which are looking like snake. Yes, snake, and cell membrane. Okay. So look, check properly both the diagram. What do you see? Yes, you can see easily that cell wall is present in plant, but cell wall is not present in animal. Lysosome is present in animal, but lysosome is not present in plant. And plastid is present in plants, but plastid is not present in animal. These are some differences you can see. Okay, clearly. Now let's see the difference one by one. Total 10 difference. I will show you one by one. Okay, let's move on the next point. So kids, you can see the first 5 difference. Remember kids, you will draw the diagram of animal cell and plant cell. Yes, you will draw the diagram of animal cell and plant cell. Difference number 1. First of all, I am reading plant cell. Usually they are larger than animal cell. Yes, plant cell are larger than animal. But animal cell usually smaller than plant cell. Yes, they are smaller. It means plant cell are big, animal cell are small. Cell wall. Now next point, next difference. Point number 2. Plant cell. First of all, plant cell. Cell wall present in addition to plasma membrane and consist of middle lamellae, primary and secondary wall. Yes. Cell wall present in addition to plasma membrane. Yes, cell wall is present in a plant cell, but in animal cell wall is absent. Yes, and it is consist of 3 layer. Okay, cell wall, but in animal cell it is absent. Okay, it is present in plant cell. Next difference is plasmodesmata present. Yes, plasmodesmata present, but in animal cell it is absent. Plasmodesmata absent. Next point, chloroplast is present in plant cell. Yes, chloroplast is present in plant cell, but in animal cell chloroplast is absent. And next is you can see vacuole, large and permanent. Yes, in plant cell the size of vacuole is very large. Yes, I showed you in diagram the size of vacuole is very large, but if I talk about animal cell, then size of vacuole is very small and temporary, not permanent. Okay, please write down the difference. I am giving you 10 seconds. Okay, so I hope that you understood. Difference number 1, in plant cell usually they are larger than animal cell, and in animal cell usually smaller than plant cell. And plant cell cell wall present in addition to plasma membrane, and in animal cell cell wall is absent. And in plant cell plasmodesmata present, but in animal cell plasmodesmata is absent. In plant cell chloroplast present, but in animal cell chloroplast is absent. In plant cell vacuole large and permanent, but in animal cell vacuole is small and temporary. Okay, now let's move on the next point. Okay, next difference number 6, in plant cell. In plant cell, if we talk in plant cell, then in plant cell tonoplast present around vacuole. Yes, and in animal cell tonoplast is absent. In plant cells centrioles absent except motile cell of lower plants, but in animal cells centriole present. Tonoplast is not given topic in your book, so I am not explaining. Okay, difference number 8, in a plant cell nucleus present along the periphery of the cell. Yes, nucleus is present, but along the periphery of the cell. Yes, it means nucleus is not present at the center, but in animal cell, if we talk about animal cell, nucleus is present at the center of the cell. Yes, nucleus is present at the center of the cell. And next is lysosomes are rare. Yes, in plant cell lysosome are rare, but in animal cell lysosome present. Yes, in animal lysosome present. Next is storage material is starch grain. Yes, you know, in a plant cell storage material is actually starch grain. Yes, they store grain, starch grain. But if you talk about animal cell, then storage material is a glycogen granule. Okay, granule. Glycogen will found as a granule, but a starch is found as grain. Okay, please write down in 10 seconds. Your time start now. So kids, I hope that you understood the difference. Difference number 6 is in plant cell tonoplast present, in animal cell tonoplast absent, in plant cell centriole absent, and in animal cell centriole present. In plant cell nucleus present along the periphery of the cell, but in animal cell nucleus at the center of the cell. In plant cell lysosome are rare, in animal cell lysosome present. In a plant cell storage material is starch grain, but in plant cell storage material is starch grain, in animal cell storage material is glycogen. There are many differences, that's why sometimes I got confused. It happens. Now let's see the question answer. Okay, today is only one question and the chapter is going to finish. The question is differentiate between animal cell and plant cell. Oh, I think I'm going to sneeze. Yes. Really, I sneeze now. You can find the answer of this question that Why do we sneeze? Okay, find yourself. Differentiate between animal cell and plant cell. I don't have corona. Don't think that I have corona. No, it's just a natural process. Okay, plant cell. So usually they are larger than animal cell. Cell wall present in addition to plasma membrane, and plasmodesmata present, and chloroplast present, and we also can say vacuole large and permanent, tonoplast present, centriole absent, nucleus present along the periphery of the cell, lysosome are rare, storage material is starch. Great. And if we talk about animal cell, usually smaller than plant cell, cell wall absent, plasmodesmata absent, chloroplast absent, vacuole is small and temporary, and tonoplast absent, centriole present, nucleus at the center of the cell, lysosome present, storage material is a glycogen granule. Okay. You will draw the diagram of plant cell and animal cell. Okay. So if you did not understand, let me explain you within 2 minutes. Okay. Again, point number 1, plant cell. Main point I am going to explain. Plant cell are larger, animal cell are smaller. In plant cell, chloroplast is present. In animal cell, chloroplast is absent. In plant cell, vacuole is large and permanent, but in animal cell, vacuole is small and temporary. Okay. Next point, in plant cell, centriole absent, but in animal cell, centriole present. In plant cell, nucleus present along the periphery of the cell, but in animal cell, nucleus at the center of the cell. In plant cell, lysosome are rare. In animal cell, lysosome present. In plant cell, storage material is starch grain. In animal cell, storage material is glycogen grain. Okay. Now we will meet in next chapter. Till then, bye bye.